Today we were here celebrating the opening of another leg of the Ute Pass Trail, and we're very excited to have this happen today, to be blessed by the tribes, our Native Americans that were from this area, and to really give a blessing on this important part of the Ute Pass Trail. It's great to be able to see that, and now we can start the planning process and work with the neighborhood to be able to continually work on that connection that will eventually hit the Teller County line and work its way forward.
I'm going to talk really loud because we have a much bigger crowd here than we anticipated. Wow, very impressive. I am Tim Walken, Director of Community Services for El Paso County, and welcome today as we open up this new segment of the Ute Pass Regional Trail. We're very excited to have it running from where you're standing today all the way down to Manitou Springs. So if you haven't had a chance to experience the trail yet, today's the big grand opening, we hope you'll come back and do that at some point. It's a very enjoyable hike. I did it myself last Sunday and enjoyed it very much. What was unique when we were doing some of the history on the Ute Pass itself and the historical route, they did a grand opening of a section of trail back in 1912. 102 years ago. And what I was thinking of when I was driving after today is, wouldn't it be wonderful a century from now, 100 years from now, that they're doing another grand opening of a trail and they mention today? And I hope they do that because I think it's a very special day for all of us. And so thank you all very much for coming out. To be honest, we only expected a handful of people, and look at this. Absolutely incredible. So thank you very much for coming out today. So at this point, I'd like to turn it over to Commissioner Sally Clark, who is the commissioner of this district. Commissioner Clark has been a great proponent of this trail as well as many other park projects in El Paso County. So Commissioner Clark.
Thank you very much, Tim. Good morning, everyone. I just want to certainly recognize, too, we have Mayor Lori Worthy, who's here from Green Mountain Falls, and a few of her trustees. Would you raise your hands so we can recognize you and thank you for being here today? And then Terry Carver, who is the will be the new state representative-elect for House District 20. She's here with us today as well, right here. So like many community projects, we've been blessed to have so many multiple partners that have made this project a success. Obviously, our county parks group, those staff members who've worked long and hard on this, I want them, all of our county staff, can you please raise your hands and be recognized for all the work you've done on this? Let's give them a hand. It takes a lot of patience and perseverance, I can tell you that. Well, also we'd like to thank the City of Colorado Springs and Colorado Springs Utilities, which owns Longs Ranch Road. Is anyone here from Colorado Springs Utilities today? It was because of them that we were able to get this trail connected, and they manage Longs Ranch for providing us with the trail easement for this section of the trail. This trail wouldn't have been possible without their support to allow access to this beautiful piece of property. And hopefully the sun's coming out and the clouds are lifting so that you can see the pass behind me. But also I'd like to recognize, I don't know, is Kim Gortz here from CSU? I don't see her today, but they really have been instrumental in what we've been able to accomplish here. Also our El Paso County Parks Advisory Board, who gets paid nothing to participate as volunteers. And I know that I saw Jane Dillon, Ann Nichols, is past board member Jane Fredman. Are you all here today? Or any Parks Board members, please raise your hands and be recognized. So we were also blessed to have many citizens serving on so many numerous committees that researched the trail alignment, the history of the trail, and participated in a number of community meetings, lots of community meetings. And we're very pleased also to have members of the Northern Ute Tribe, the Southern Ute Tribe, and the Colorado Springs Indian Center with us today, and we look forward to their comments later in the program. Another critical partner for this project is Colorado Parks and Wildlife, and they provided a $120,000 grant for this trail project. Also, which we benefited from donations from the following organization: the Trust for Community Parks, the Ute Pass Trails Committee, the Ute Pass Historical Society, the Manitou Open Space Advisory Committee, and we are very thankful for the support from the Trails and Open Space Coalition. Bill Kerner is with us today from as a Trails and Open Space Coalition staff member, and also Susan Davies as a member of the State Trails Committee, I think, Bill, you serve on, and Susan Davies, who's Executive Director. Susan, where are you? Oh, there you are. So let's give them a round of applause as well. And then finally, former mayor of Green Mountain Falls, my friend Dick Bratton, who basically was one of the catalysts and the driving forces behind the Ute Pass Regional Trail project. Dick chairs a variety of local trails committees. Thanks, Dick Bratton. Where are you, Dick? There he is. Give him a round of applause. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back over to Tim Wolken. I just want to say, obviously, what a beautiful morning. Look behind you. The clouds have lifted. It must be a sign that this is not only our country in El Paso County, but God's country as well. Thank you very much for being here this morning.
At this point, I'd like to ask Jason Meyer, our park planner, to come up and give you a quick overview of the overall project. And a couple of quick comments. Jason did a marvelous job as far as the technical side of the trail construction, from alignment to construction to working with various stakeholders. But he also got very involved in the historical and cultural side too of the trail. And you'll see that on the panels as you walk up and down the trail system. We're really teaching people about Ute Pass in addition to a recreational opportunity as well. So a round of applause for Jason Meyer. He's done a marvelous job.
Thanks, Tim. Some project specifics and background. El Paso County constructed the first section of the Ute Pass Trail back in 2003. That links Green Mountain Falls to Ute Pass Elementary School in Chipeta Park. This trail section is used not only to the community for recreational purposes, but also to provide a safe pedestrian passage to the elementary school. The second section was completed in 2004-05. And that links Green Mountain Falls on the other side to the county line with Teller County. In between those, Green Mountain Falls provided an on-road trail through the community that links those two sections of trail. With the completion of this 3-mile section of trail that we call the Ute Indian Trail, the county is one step closer to completing the trail from Manitou Springs to the Teller County line. As many of you know, the trail is more than a recreational opportunity for our community, as it provides an opportunity to learn about the history of the trail, the Pikes Peak region, and Ute Indian culture. There are 9 interpretive panels located along this 3-mile trail, and that concentrates on a variety of topics, including the historical use of the trail, Ute culture, forest management, geology, and ecology. Now, what a lot of you may not know is that a lot of work went into placing those panels in key locations or view sheds along the trail. For example, you can stand atop Rattlesnake Gulch and read about the 1912 dedication ride as you're looking down the gulch itself. Trail users can also stand along the 1860 wagon road. And where we are here, trail users can even look out at the Waldo Canyon burn scar as you read about forest management. Now, to tie all these elements together, interpretation on Ute culture is provided throughout, highlighted by quotes from Ute elders and the medicine wheel. The experience overall is intended to provide a lasting impression and instill a sense of community, ownership, and outdoor stewardship. Now, to assist the county in development of the interpretive panels, we formed an interpretive plan stakeholder group. These members supplied research findings, assisted with the development of the themes, and provided overall interpretive guidance to the county. We have members of these groups here today. We have the Ute Pass Historical Society, the Pikes Peak Historical Society, Northern Ute Tribe, Southern Ute Tribe, Colorado Springs Indian Center, the Manitou Springs Heritage Center, Friends of Ute Pass, and Friends of the Peak. So if you would, please join me in recognizing these groups, as they did spend a considerable amount of time assisting the county with development of the interpretive plan and panels that we're here to look at today. Thank you.
Everyone, as Commissioner Clark mentioned, we are very blessed to have with us today representatives from the Northern Ute Tribe, Southern Ute Tribe, Colorado Springs Indian Center, and Our Nation Walking Together. So thank you very much for attending today. We greatly appreciate that. They've been involved, please. They provided guidance to us through this project, helped serve on committees, and we're thankful very much for them being here today to help us celebrate and also bless the medicine wheel, which we'll talk about in just a minute. From the Northern Ute Tribe, we're very fortunate to have Carrie Sespuch, I believe is right here in the front row. Wave, please. Carrie, thank you very much. The Northern Ute spiritual leader. So thank you very much for being here today. I did want to acknowledge that during a recent passing of Loya Aram, a Northern Ute Tribe leader who provided guidance and encouragement for this project, we'd like a moment of silence for Ms. Aram, please, if we could. Thank you very much. From the Southern Ute Tribe, we're joined today by tribal elder leaders Alden Naranjo, Austin Box, and Dr. James Jefferson. If you're here, if you could raise your hands for us, please. Thank you. From the Colorado Springs Indian Center, Jim Bear Running Montoya. Jim, I know, is here with us. And from One Nation Walking Together, we're joined by their executive director, Urban Terzi. I believe Urban's with us? Thank you. So at this point, I'd like to ask Carrie to come up and say a few words, and we might have others who would like to speak as well, but I will turn it over to Carrie.
Mike, nigga Panakwanachi, nigga Yavuttanuch, Fort Duchesne, Utah. Tagoyak Puan, Taguvan for being here. My name is Carrie Sespuch. I'm Northern Ute from Fort Duchesne, Utah, on the Uinta and Ori Reservation. I'm honored to be here on behalf of the Northern Ute people coming from the three bands of the Uncompahgre, Uinta, and White River. And this valley is a part of our history that we have as a Ute Nation, and also representing Clifford, the late Clifford Duncan, who spent a lot of time here in this area, and also on behalf of my mother, Loya, the late Loya Aram. And her spirit is with us today, as you know, I'm in mourning right now. So I really appreciate the people here for asking me to say a few words on that behalf. And so I remember when we came to do the planning and the production for this trail, and of course we all suspected that, you know, she would be here with us and be talking here. So now it's my turn to talk. And so I really ask for her help today to guide me and say the right words to you. So just bear with me if I get, you know, a little emotional. You know, my feelings are pretty sensitive and right now. But one of the stories that I would like to share with you today is from our creation story, and it derives from Pikes Peak. And this story comes from Clifford Duncan. So a long time ago, when the Creator was creating, you know, the earth, and he had these special people who he wanted them to have, you know, a good place to live where it was beautiful and bountiful. And so what he did was he opened a hole inside the sky. To us is the sky, but to him it was the ground. So he created this hole, and there was a void there. So Creator, he then spilled what was going to be the earth inside the hole, and all of the mountains started to form, all of the hills and rivers and streams and oceans, and then it became the earth. And so Creator, he had these special people. He called them Nuchu, Utes. And he said, these are my special people, and I'm going to put them in this place. They're going to be the caretakers of this earth. So he placed them down, and they scattered. And from then, the Creator's daughter, she was very beautiful. And so she looked down on this earth. And he told her, well, you know, you can look, but don't go down there. So she came down. And then there was this bear. She encountered a bear. So her and the bear became a relationship. And she would come down and visit the bear. And so soon the relationship between Creator's daughter and the bear also became another part of a Ute culture, a Ute people, which is why we honor the bear every spring and do our bear dances and ceremonies. The bear is also the caretaker of the herbs and the medicines here on this earth. And here in this valley, on this mountaintop, you can see all kinds of medicine. You can see the yucca, you can see the the berries that grow here. It's all because Creator is still continuing to take care of us. The prayer trees that have been set and bent into shape from a long ancient times, ancient times, our ancestors made those prayer trees for us here today so that we can continue on in this culture, in this way of life. And you know, people, they often say, well, what's a Ute? I say, well, I'm a Ute. I'm a proud Ute. My people came from Colorado, and they were forced at gunpoint out of Colorado and Meeker. And so that's why our tribe resides in Utah. But yet, a part of us has always kept this spiritual connection here with our land. And then in 1908, our people, because being forced out of Colorado, forced into Utah, Mormons coming in and forcing us out of our home territory also. So then we all gathered together and decided to go north to South Dakota to seek alliance with the Lakota people in Cheyenne River and meet Fort Meade near Sturgis, South Dakota. And from then, there was a bond that was created between the Lakota and the Utes. So this area here is a crossroads between all of the tribes that came into this area, but mainly it belonged to the Ute people. And the Ute people were known as fierce warriors. We were strong. And it came to a point where nobody wanted to face the Utes because we were a strong nation. And today, with this trail, I believe that people will begin to understand and learn and know about the Utes and our belief ways and the spirituality that we have connecting us to this territory, to this land, our homeland. And I was noticing the fog too. You know, in our traditional way, we say that that fog, that's when the eagles are mating. So it's a special time because then it says that our spirituality, our life is always going to continue, that we're always going to be here. And the spirits in this fog, in this condensation is also here in this trail. So if you think about it in a spiritual way, the fog also represents a spirit. Like say we go into the sweat lodge and the steam rises because it's coming from us, from the ground, the rocks, the water, and it's purifying us. So that's how I think of this fog today, this moisture that we're having, is because all of those spirits are here with us and watching over us and taking care of us. When my mother was here and we were going through the planning of the trail and the markers and the importance of the sacred medicine wheel. And the medicine wheel in our camps, they came and they built the medicine wheel next to the medicine man's tent, next to the medicine man's teepee. And in form, the camp would be a crescent shape, like the moon, because you know it represents the Pleiades, the star people, which is also another form of creation for the people. For all tribes, we have a special story of the stars. But at that camp, the sacred medicine wheel was formed so that we can connect the heavens to the earth and to us here on this earth. So from then, we ask the four directions, all the spirits, that they can come and be with us and bless us and take care of us in our camp. So the medicine wheel this afternoon, that's what we're going to do. I'm going to pray so that we can have that connection here, so that we'll never be lost. Because in times right now where it's changing and things are changing and people are becoming disconnected with each other, that we'll be able to connect again. Like the gentleman was saying, they expect, this is more than they expected. And that's because the Spirit brought you here, so that you can each take something back from this experience and tell other people about it. The ripple in the pond, so that you can tell others, and they could tell others, and they could tell others, so that they know that there are Native Americans here, there are Utes here, that we still live. So on behalf of that, I want to say thank you to all the folks that helped put this together, and also thank you to the spirits here for allowing us to continue and to make this good, so that this trail will never be lost, so that we will never be lost as a Ute tribe, so that we'll always have a place to go, so that when we walk that trail, those spirits here will be walking with us, so that God will always shine his face upon us and make us feel good every day. So that much I want to say thank you, everybody, for being here. From the bottom of my heart, on behalf of our Northern Ute people, thank you.
Thank you very much, Carol. Any other tribal leaders that would like to make a few comments?
I guess I would.
Please, sir.
For those of you that don't know me, my name is Dr. Jim Jefferson with the Southern Ute Tribe at Ignacio, Colorado. I've been doing the history and stuff, and a lot of my relatives came up here as I find out. One of the stories that I like to share with you on this trip that they've done. Chief Buckskin Charlie was a leader. He was a war chief. And he had a group, what they call the dog soldiers. And my uncles were with him. The only reason I know about this, they told me stories, but I didn't have any backup. But I found stories of where Buckskin Charlie went on a lot of campaigns to Oklahoma, to Texas, to New Mexico, up into Wyoming, Idaho, and all of this. He was a leader on all of this, and as I look at the picture, I don't find any of the names of my uncles and the group that he was with. But I did find out through a newspaper article where Buckskin Charlie came across the river and he lost his papers when he received a discharge from the cavalry, from the army, with a long, and the others had it, and I found them. My uncles were in there. One of them, well, there were 6 of them that were involved in it. One of them was Harry Richards. Another one is Andrew Richards. And you know, there was a couple others. And what they done when all of these people were camped here, all of the tribes, Buckskin Charlie with his group were the protectors. They never came in, they were separate. These are some of the stories that I'm finding from a lot of places. The prayer trees, I'm finding out. I worked with Clifford Duncan, and he wanted me to help him write a lot of the stories. I've gotten a lot of these stories from him. But again, I have to be careful, because I was told by my elders that you do not reveal a lot of these secrets A lot of these things that we know, how the prayer tree was prepared, how, you know, in these ceremonies, all of these things. And sometimes it hurts me because I said, I can't tell the people. And they told me I can only tell it to people that were interested. So a lot of the secrets, what they call it now, the mystery of the trees, is a living history. It tells the story. I'm all finding out a lot of these things, thinking back and working with a lot of the elders. So that in this way, you know, a lot of people don't know about what really happened. And because of that, you know, the mystery of the trees, the mystery of the rocks, the mystery, because a lot of people don't know and don't understand these things. And even if I'm finding out, even though you do understand it, you really don't understand it because you're not spiritually connected to a lot of these things. There's a lot of spirits here. And I'm learning a lot about it. One of the things that I was told, you know, a lot of times, a lot of people says, you're not an expert in this, you haven't been there. But then again, my elders told me, he says, you know, as much education as you get, you're going to find out how dumb you are. Because, you know, you find out about the universe, you learn about the stars, you learn about the air, you learn about the water, and all of these things. They're all spiritual. And I'm finding out as I grow older, I'm learning more things and beginning to find out how dumb I am. Spiritually, physically, and all of these things. But again, I belong to the old Spanish Trail Board. I belong to the National Trails. And one of the things, they've got me on this board to explain that all of these trails were Indian trails all over the United States, not only here. And it's in the rocks, it's in the trees, it's in everywhere. These are the things I'm finding out. I guess a lot of you are beginning to learn that, but it's not something that you can learn overnight. And what do the people tell me when I go to Northern Ute Mountain, all of that? I don't care where I go. We were an Indian nation. We were a Ute nation. We weren't Southern Ute. We weren't Ute Mountain. We weren't all of these. The Europeans came and gave us all of our names. The Spanish came and gave us all of our names, told us what all of these things. But yet I'm finding out that it was here 10,000 years, maybe earlier, that the Indian people had our own. The environment, we were, like they said, we were given the thing, we were the caretakers. We don't own the land, we don't own the air, we don't own the water, we don't own the gold or all of these. These are something that when the Europeans came, said, well, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. You got to get married, you got to go to the church, you got to be baptized, you got to do all of these things. You have to own land in order. But to me, we don't own land. We were only put here as caretakers. Those of us that know all of these things. We never had fences. We never had to say, you can't cross that fence, that's my land over there. You can't trespass. Well, we wandered all over this area. Nobody ever told us we couldn't trespass. But like brothers and sisters, they always get into a fight. Same way with the tribes. If the chiefs got together, we were good friends. If they were not friendly with each other or mad at each other, we became enemies. But we always had a rule. Like a lot of the tribe says, if we attack another tribe, like they come up in the Utes, but the only thing was they said it's a coup. You do not kill. You go into the enemy camp, take something of value. You come out, and if you come out alive, then you became. So a lot of these chiefs, that's the way they gained their honor. A lot of the warriors gained their honor. So it's something that, a lot of people don't know about. There's a lot of things that you don't know about. So, like I say, a lot of the Indian people, a lot of the Indian spiritual people will not tell you everything, because you have to earn it. And if you don't earn that place, then you're not told. So that's just a little bit of information that I thought I might give to you, that so that's some of the things that we're studying, a group of us, and trying to tell the nation that the Indians were here, the trails were there, all of the roads. If you look at it, you'll find out that they were old Indian trails, or actually deer trails, that the Indians learned, because the animals taught us all of these things. The spirituality was given to us, those of us that wanted it, because all of the Indians were, even you people, a lot of you, you're not completely spiritual in a lot of the things. Maybe in certain things you are. But far as I was taught, I have to earn it. There's certain things that I have to do. I can't do a lot of things. So in this way, I think all of you here hopefully will put your heart into a lot of these things and learn a lot of these things and respect it. Respect the ground, respect the air, respect the water, respect the skies, because they are the ones that gave us life. That's the way the spirits told us. And like I say, there's different stories. Families have stories. I don't care where you go. If it's here, down in New Mexico, Arizona, Utah, they are taught different things. But the basic thing is respect Mother Nature. And if we don't, nature will take care of it for us. And that's what's going to happen. Thank you.
Okay, ask Susan Davies to come up for Trails and Nobles Coalition, please.
Thank you, Tim. I'm grateful. Those are two very difficult people to follow, but I'll be very brief. Trails and Open Space has been totally committed to this project. We've got a new project that we would just like to share with you and hope that you'll pay attention to it and consider it carefully. Just this past week, we got the opportunity to have something on the ballot in November. It is 1A, look for it, and it will be an opportunity for you to vote yes for allowing the Tabor surplus to be turned into parks and trails in the county. $8.41 per piece of property is all that would be refunded to folks, 2 cups of coffee at most of our restaurants in town. Instead, it's going to be turned into 12 amazing projects. We've worked on many of them, and one of them would be to continue work on this trail. It's just one of 12. So it's about $2 million that if the people of this county say, yes, indeed, this is the right thing to do, to give it back to Trails and Parks in El Paso County. So what I would ask of you, we don't have a lot of time. The mail-in ballots are going to go out in about 6 weeks. So you're not going to see this amazing campaign with TV ads and billboards. It's not going to happen. But if you would share it with your peers, your circle of friends, where you work, people like you who care about trails and parks in this region, and encourage them. It is not a tax increase. It's merely a way to support something we all care about. Thank you.
And Bill Kernow, Trail Close.
Well, I was very moved by the comments that our Indian brothers and sisters made. And I think that the trail that we're dedicating today is carrying on a tradition of respecting the land and providing connections to people and between people. And I think that's a critical thing that we as a society need to do, is connect with each other, understand each other, respect each other. And so I'm a representative. I'm the Congressional District 5 representative from the State Trails Committee, and we're very proud at the state about the fact that this trail has been created and hopefully connected up all the way up the pass as the original trail was. So I want to thank the county, Tim, Jason, and all the other county employees and volunteers who made this happen. And it's a credit to us, it's a credit to our community, and it's a credit to the state. And thank you very much.
Okay, I think at this point we are ready to do the grand opening of the trail. What our plan is to stretch a ribbon here and have commissioners, some tribal leaders, Park Advisory Board members behind the ribbon with scissors. But anybody else that would like to be in the photo today, as I talked earlier today, this is historical for us. You're more than welcome to be behind those individuals, and we'll take some pictures. And Nancy here. Are we okay if we do it right here? Okay, so take us just a second to get this set up, but we'll be ready to go in just a few minutes. But if you want to join us, please come back by the sign right here. So, Park Advisory Board members.
We're not supposed to run.
You need to push up my please. Any tribal leaders that would like to join us with scissors, please come in, please. Anybody else with scissors? Linda.
This is a serious day, Steve.
Okay, anybody else like to be in the photo with us? If not, are we good in the front row with scissors? Everybody good? So we're going to then count down from 5. We'll cut it 1. Okay, we ready? So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Say some words on behalf of our people and just following through what my mother started, and was asked to say this prayer for this space. I asked everybody to come in this circle because it takes everybody to make a village. It takes all walks of life to make this the medicine wheel. It takes the black, the red, the white, and the yellow to make a medicine wheel. That's why I invited everybody to come and and make a circle here, because we come from this land, but yet you are the caretakers of this place. I also represent the Uinta and Ori Historical Society at home, and was honored to work with the late Benita Tavapont, the late Clifford Duncan, and also my mother. I've worked with also on the Historical Society, Adelbert Tavashoots and his wife Marjorie Tavashoots. And we come here to this land and we pray. I'm only 34, but as much as I've learned in my years, I do my best that I can for our people. When I come here, I say my prayers every time. When my son was 3, we were coming through the South Pass and he says, "Mom, we're home. Home, home, home." And that was our first time coming to this area. So I believe that ancient spirit has come into my son and we're home. When we come here, I go into the mountains secluded for 4 days and 4 nights every year, and I say my prayers, I fast, I do my vision quest. My first vision quest, I saw a bear coming down the mountain, and he went behind a tree, and he came back on the other side, 3 feet, one person. So the spirit of these ancestors, they're here, and I speak to them, and they're here with us today. They're here with us always. My heart's happy today because I was able to follow through with what my mom had started. And I promised her that I would continue that with an open heart for everybody, not just myself, but to include all walks of life, all people, because I don't discriminate. My heart is full of love and compassion for each and every one of you, and thankful that you decided to be here instead of somewhere else. And you made this more. You made it more for us to enjoy. You made it more for us to remember this is where we came from. This is where we are connected to. And I pray that someday my kids can continue to come here too, and continue to share, and continue to dance here, as we come every year and dance at the fossil beds in the sacred area. And we've met so many good people here in this area who are just in love with this land as much as we are. So I want to express my thank you for that. Because I know I can't come here and be here all the time, but I'm happy that you have that sincere heart, that sincere care that you have for this land, this territory. And I'm thankful for all of the teamwork that took place to make this happen. I'm thankful that this trail was remembered, and that those people who were a part of that brought that back to us. And now it's ours as tribal people to remember this place and say, let's go kids, let's go walk this trail. This is where your ancestors were. On the plaque over there is the late Clifford Duncan. He was my uncle on my mother's side. And I'm sure he's here with us today also. My mother, she was a warrior. My people are warriors. But here today I stand as a warrior of peace and love and caring for all people so that we can all grow and understand together. I pray for this place here. I'm going to go into a prayer, so if you bear with me at this time, say a little prayer for all of us. One God, Father, Jesus, Mother Mary, God, Creator of all things on this earth, to all of the 4 directions, to the east, the south, the north, the west, the above us, the sun and the moon, the stars, and below us, our Mother Earth. Mukachu, our little people, the 4-legged, the 2-legged, the ones who swim, crawl, and fly. Offer this prayer to you on behalf of all of the people here. Hear my voice, hear my prayer. Ask that you also look into the hearts of each and every one of us here. Bless it so that we can experience something good today. Walk away with something good in our heart and our mind. Thank you to the fellow who asked if I could do this. Bless him and his team. The people who made this happen, bless them. Ask that all the spirits will come here to this place. Ask that all the spirits will see this medicine wheel in connection to our people today, yesterday, and the past. Ancient people will come here and recognize us today. Bless those hands who will be laying the rocks, the stones, the heart stone. Help them have a good mind when they make this medicine wheel. Help them to understand the importance of what they're doing. Bless this land so that it can always be here for us, all of us, together. Help us to have humble hearts when we come here to offer our prayer. Help us so that any negativity that may happen, that it will be drawn away. I pray that the Holy Spirit will always watch over the land here, our ancestral land, so that our youth people will always remember where we came from, so that the younger generations will always remember to have kindness and love in their heart when they come here. I said all the spirits who have gone on will also be here with us. I ask that all the four directions of people will be touched with something good today. Bless those people out there who are having a hard time, God Creator. Bless our homes and our families. Bless our children, our grandchildren, and our great-grandchildren. Bless the animals that we have, our pets, so that they can always protect us and watch over us. Bless each and every one of us here today, Creator. Help us to have a good heart about today. Help us to have a good mind about today. Ask our Grandmother Earth to help us walk a good way of life. Ask our Creator to always walk with us, to help us when we're down, to help us bring us up. Help our minds be strong and good. I ask that all the animals will be here, will come and will be happy seeing us here in honor of our land, of our Mother Earth. I also pray for the war-torn countries out there, God Creator. Bless all of those people who are suffering. Bless the children who have suffered. Bless those soldier boys and soldier girls so that they can come home safely back to their people, back to their families. Bless all of the people who are in the hospital today so that they can get better and go home with their families. Bless all of the people who are struck with illness, terminal illnesses, so that they can live a good quality of life here on this earth. I pray with a humble heart, with sincere love in my heart for each and every one of us, so that we can continue to go forward. And help us to remember that there are other sacred places in this land, not just here, but everywhere else. Pray that we and others will learn how to respect that. Pray to our ancestors will always be with us, always take care of us. Today is a good day to pray. Every day is a good day to pray, Creator, to send our voice to you, to offer that celebration of life, being thankful for the sun to come up today, thankful for the night so we can rest our body and our minds. Bless the food that we're going to eat today and the water that we're going to drink, because there are other places who go without. There are people who go through ceremonies without food and water so that we can make the connection to our God, to our Creator. sweet grass, and I ask that you will bless yourselves with that. Tatanka kola chiela, tatanka kola chiela, chanu pawa wakwa chaya ha ya la. Tatanka kola chiela, mazanik de la. Tatanka kola chiela, tatanka kola chiela, chanu pawa waka cha yu ha ya la. Tataka kola chiela, mazanik de la. Tataka kola chiela, tataka kola chiela, chanu pawa waka cha yu ha ya la. Tataka kola chiela, de la. Tataka kola chiela, tataka kola chiela, chanu pawa waka cha yu ha ya la. Tataka kola chiela, mazanik de la. Kantanka tukashula wopila tanka for today, for tomorrow, for our future. Bless all of us here on this earth. Bless us so that we can go home and feel good today. Bless our families and our home places. Bless us so that our roads will always be clear and open no matter where we go. Always protect us, Lord God Creator. Bless us and surround us with the Holy Spirit so that we can go forward on this earth with a good mind, good heart, and good spirit. Bless all of my elders, God Creator. Bless all of the young people. Bless all of the adults. Bless those who are going to school. Bless those who are yet to come on to this earth. Bless all of the spirits in the four directions to above and below. The way up. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you.